Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Brooke Cerda talk show with your hostess, Brooke Cerda Guzman. Today it's October 26, 2018. It's Friday. It's Friday 2018. Time is passing fast, but not fast enough because, I'm Mexican. So I was born and raised in Mexico until I was 23. I came here in 1989, and it was one of the worst mistakes of my life. So yes, I fell with for the propaganda, United States, like everything is so much better, like what they say, over here, like even the ice is colder over here. I don't know. In my country have this really nasty habit of looking up north, which is something I'm intending to question every day, every time. This is a new channel. I had another channel, but my people took over, so I just left it for my people in our language, which is not Spanish, because we're not from Spain. It's Mexican that we speak now. So, like I say, you can see here what I'm going to be talking about. It said 14 hours ago. 14 hours ago, yeah. That was like, I probably woke up like around 15 hours ago. So it's been kind of like a long day. So this was the original tweet. Um, was posted by someone. I have no idea who that is. But, she loved her damn crackers. She got a picture of a cracker. And usually, that's what it is. A lot of these, I don't know, they call themselves queer people. And the truth is, they're just a bunch of dykes and faggots, and that's it. But they're trying always to make themselves interesting. So, in the past 15 years, they started calling themselves transgender. Yeah, I mean, kind of like the $5 Indians. Kind of like, yeah, except that over here, these idiots don't even need $5. All they got to do is just go on Facebook and change their pronouns. Um, and they use so many pronouns that is kind of crazy. But I mean, they have no proof. They have no proof of all this. What they say. Sometimes they even say that there's like 10 million genders. Even I think National Geographic, very apropos for that stupid zoo, um, um, say unlimited, limitless genders and stuff like that. They had a, like what they call like wrenching coverage cover of the magazine. I never read it. So basically, anything and anyone, you know, it can be transgender. All you gotta do is just gotta like say, I'm transgender, and that's it. And you say like, what's the harm on that? Well, the harm on that is that these just like feminism is a niche. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like they're making billions of dollars in all these nonprofits. It's called the nonprofit industrial complex. You know, so because it's just like it's crazy. They give really lousy service. Um, Maybe I should rewind a little. Exactly, actually, last year, a year ago, exactly, I just realized we're in October. I don't remember what day I said enough is enough, and I retired after like 9 years of trying to um, do something for the most undeserved women in my community. I'm a transsexual woman. So, a lot of like, non-white transsexual women um, are very forgotten, literally fell through the cracks. It's like, it's really dire. I mean, it really break my heart, to see them and just like, I mean, they can't catch a break, wherever they go, they're catching hell wherever they go. And so, especially the combination of a woman who is black and then if she is transsexual, and I mean, if she's outed as transsexual, which, I mean, kind of happen a lot, because I mean, if they grew up in New York or even in the United States, somebody's bound to out you, and you lose your job, you know not sometimes because they fire you, because they say, oh, there's, which there's no protections, but I mean, not legal, no, not by law. There's no legislation, for employment or housing. So it really sucked that anybody can just like, they start saying, oh, well, uh, she's this, she's that, and or all the neighbors, they start ganging up on you, and I've seen that, and you got to move again, and then again you have the problem: who's going to rent you? Um, we have to overcome many decades of defamation from the gay community. The gay community always, it's like I see that there's always somebody looking to look down on somebody. I think that's the legacy of colonization, being colonized, and we just, in so many ways, we want to always imitate the colonizers, you know, those ratchet European Neanderthal Neanderthals, in that, it's just ridiculous. I mean, until we don't really invest, I mean, especially time and effort in decolonizing our minds, you know, it's just it's just gonna be always. It's like start building with no foundation. You got no foundation, which, I mean, one of the biggest legacies of the colonization, was a divide and conquer. So we always like, we internalize a lot of the shit they said, even about ourselves, the colonizers, so we carry all that unconsciously. We do all this shit and we don't even realize, how much we just continue to recreate that. It's like, I'm gonna make a disclosure. My father's an alcoholic. So, and my mom is, narcissistic. I hate talking about them, and that's all I'm gonna say. So it was great that I found a 12-step program, it's called Al-Anon, that really help us heal from that, because we don't, a lot of us, we don't drink, a lot of us, we don't do use drugs and shit, but since we grew up always on fight or flight mode, we tend to get on fight or flight mode unconsciously. um, and it's like, one of the things you hear in the rooms is that, like, we have memories that are so similar, which is unbelievable. We have, experiences that are no memories, experiences that are very similar. Like, you know listening, you know to see how they was uh taking the coffee. They was making a lot of noise with the spoon in the coffee cup. So that was a bad sign. It's a bad sign. Make yourself very scarce. Don't come down, don't go whatever in the kitchen, whatever they are. And so that's no way of living. You know what I mean? It's like to be like this hyper alert, especially with your loved one or your partner, or even if you got kids. Sometimes it's just like it just we're walking around with this cassette. I know people don't use cassettes no more, but just like just goes off, and it's just like we just basically whoever is it can be 100 people, but you know they're all the same person. They are just one person. I think they call it in psychology transference, where just like shit, you just don't move on completely, and that's a lot of effort. I've been in therapy since 2005. I've been to many types of therapy. They're all outpatient. The one that was more crazy was I did 13 months of five days a week outpatient, um, group therapy, individual therapy. It's like all this stuff. It was DBT skills and stuff. Just like I'm sure they made a lot of money, and actually I had to leave because the facilitator started like just I started getting attacked for being transsexual, and and everybody started like talking really nasty, and the facilitator was like, oh no, it's 13 months, so we got to leave you alone, and they can tell you whatever the fuck they want. And I'm just like, it was like, I don't think that's how it worked, but I rather left because I was not gonna be like, I would slap a bitch. That's for sure. But what I'm saying is just like our journey, and I see a lot of I see a lot of people being misled and with their priorities, and it's like there's like, I mean, one big one is just that how like what you think. So many people, they think like transsexual woman is their enemy number one, to their community. When in reality, they never met any transsexual women, especially not, you know, um, in a substantial way. But I noticed that they have a lot of resentment against gay people, because gay people are very, very powerful right now, overnight. I believe they took a page from the so-called Jewish, like irritated, call them small hats. Um, it just they hide who they are, and you know they're on every board of directors. They're controlling it, and a lot of people, they don't know. I've spoken with people. It's like, you don't know that he's gay, that she's gay, whatever. Like, it's kind of like, because a lot of times, there's people I know for like, you know, back in the days, and it's like, oh no, I had no idea. So, I've been watching this, especially the past 5 years. It's just been really, really crazy, and I seem to be the only one who noticed this. It went from like, you know, people are just like, well, I just don't fuck with gay people because I have no business there. I have nothing, to people being very solicitous. I think that's the word, to being very like catering and stuff, and just like, and I'm gonna show you, probably gonna use this example many times. This woman, she came out like not even 2 years ago, and she got 5,000, 50,000 subscribers, and any video have at least 25 views Well, this one here, 13,000. That's like, that's the worst. That's the worst. 13,000. She ain't got no views. And this one just came out one day ago. They got 16,000, but I'm sure it's probably gonna get there to the upper 20s. And this woman is hideous, hideous, annoying, but um and it was a time, it was a time I don't even remember, tell you the truth, I don't remember that I think I was like, um oh, I think that was when Janet Mock went to Power 105, and they all started attacking her and shit, and Dr. Boyce Watkins made a video, everybody made a video. It's like, because they know, I said it many times, we don't make a dime for ourselves, but we are we are giving a lot of money to a lot of people, therapists, like I say, nonprofits, that they claim, that they are serving us because they use, the what's it called, the LGBT acronym. So a lot of people, they really don't suspect, how dire it is for, black and brown transsexual women. A lot of people have no idea because, people are like, I don't know, idiots. I mean, it's just like you gotta be told, like, remember, like 2 years ago, oh, we're gonna go to the airport, and damn, everybody went to the airport. Hmm. Right now, it's like everybody's telling, protest this, and they go, but anybody who's not trending, there's no chance in hell. So that was one of the reasons why I retired a year ago. It's my first birthday as a free woman. It was very, very hard. It was very hard. It was just like, I was being attacked from everywhere. Politicians here in New York City was telling everybody, don't work with her. She's crazy. So, of course, they don't like any critique. And I'm not mincing my words because, what is the point? There's like tons of critique that they're very intellectual, very, whatever. I like to keep it plain, and, I say it, yes, the gays, want to keep us out of sight and out of mind because, they don't want us to rise up and be in control of our own money. What I was working all those years was for me to get a 501c3, and I wanted to get a community center just like the gay center in Manhattan on 13th Street. It's like a 4-story building, and really fancy. There's no community there, but it's more like, I always notice it's more like the White House for the gays. I volunteered there a couple of times. The first time, it was like, I don't know, like 15 years ago. And since I don't know how to do nothing, they put me on filing documents. So it's like, and so I just wrote the alphabet, and that's how it. So, but I noticed that, celebrities was coming in and out, politicians, it was like their house, especially all the gay politicians. They just like, they even have keys for the, if you go there, there's like, it looked like it's kind of like small. But if you get to open one of those doors in the back, there's still a whole lot. It goes to 12th Street. So it's huge. It's huge. And they still got the basement where they have the files, whatever, so it's like, so, and then I volunteer like 2.5 years for something they call the Gender Identity Project. So, I served, like I say, 2.5 years, for free because say, oh, you don't got a green card, so we don't have to pay you. So not even a gift card. I did other 2 years at something, the Alder Project, which people told me that's the Angry Lesbian Project. That's what ALP stand for. And I was like, oh, come on, give him a break. Oh, shit. That was an understatement. They hate our guts. They hate transsexual women. So, like 2 years ago, it was a position that came, like coordinator of trans justice. So they went out and hired a dyke, a straight up dyke. And I thought it was like, damn, that was a chance for a black transsexual woman to get that job, right? No, and so because of the pressure, they hire a black transsexual woman, but she got tokenized, and long story short, she left, and she said she was mistreated, and she wanted to sue them. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Then Sylvia Rivera Law Project, they use the name of a transsexual woman, a Latina, but they got no Latinas working there except for the receptionist. Who's been accused of being anti-black. It's like, oh wow, it's too much. So what else? Oh, the last that I did was a GMAC. Well, that one is, you know, it's pure stupidity of me. I mean, that's what it means. It can mean gay men's health crisis. And I was like, because it's only white gay men got AIDS, and the same thing with ACT UP. When they're just like they just they write books, they do documentaries only about themselves, and it's just like very colonial. But anyway, fast forward to today. I think I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to jump to today's events. I mean, it was nothing really, but I just want to run it by you, and hopefully one day, because I know my videos they circulate for many many years. It's like, for experience, I know like 3 4 years later somebody like find it, and they leave a comment, and usually they're very nasty, but you know it don't matter. At least I get to gauge a little bit. um, so like I say, this was a tweet, and this is like enraging for me that Laverne went there. And by the way, she said this like 5 6 years ago, and it keeps getting recycled, it keeps going around. That's the thing with social media. It's lives forever. So this woman, I don't know why she took it out of the trash and she brought it back, and she got the nerve to say facts only. Is it straight men who don't date T girls are insecure? I mean, where the fuck you got that out of? It must be Glad, because like 3 years ago she hosted the Glad Awards. She finally got to host the Glad Awards, and she was very grateful. And she went in. She went like, I owe everything to Glad, everything. And I think there was a lot of backlash, and they cut that off. They cut that off because one day I wanted to show it to a girlfriend of mine, and it's like, can you believe that she did not even acknowledge, first of all, you know, her people, black people, first and foremost, it's like, I don't think, and second, her sisters, her ancestors, like Marsha P. Johnson, Miss Mayer, like all the women who paved the way for all of us, to be able actually to live in our truth, in the daytime, because, up until like 15 years ago, you had to you live a life, you couldn't leave your house until like after midnight, and you gotta come back by 5, and you had to be a very good fighter or a very good runner, because people just felt like they had the right to kill you right there and then. And Yeah, there was a lot of that going on, just getting beat up. One of the last ones, I think it was 2006. It was Amanda. Oh my gosh, Amanda. She was like 25-year-old, and she was right there on 8th Avenue and 42nd Street. So it was like late at night or early in the morning, whichever you want to see it. So this guy come from behind her and just cut her neck off and ran away. And I don't know. I think they never even caught the guy. So I just say that it's not the oppression Olympics like you said, but it's just like I just let you know. And this only happened to basically to black and brown women only, because the white ones, like Chelsea Manning, who is declared Nazi, who the civil rights, what's it called, the American civil liberties with that idiot, Chase Strangio. He prioritized her to get her out of detention, because she was one of the WikiLeaks, where we found out that, all the fucking dirty secrets from the United States. Um, I don't know, you remember, and what's his name? Snowden, who is in the Ecuadorian embassy. But unfortunately, I don't give a fuck, Um, there was a horrible betrayal in Ecuador. You call it Ecuador, because Lenin Moreno, which is the president, the today's president of Ecuador, he lied to everybody. He said he was going to be for the people. That he was a leftist, and as soon as he got in, you know, he 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 stopped collecting taxes from corporations, all tax breaks. Which, by the way, I just learned that this year the deficit in the first 10 months of this year, no, the fiscal year, 10 months, I guess it's 2017, 2018, the United States deficit grew 20%, thanks to all the tax cuts of the orange guy. And I just learned last night that he announced that next week he's going to be formally announcing that he's going to be giving away more tax cut, this time 10% tax cut. So I'm not sure how that shit is going to work, but these bitches continue to attack trans women, which granted, LeBron had it coming. I mean, even like if somebody don't date me, oh, it gotta be something wrong with that guy. That's feminism. Unfortunately, like I say, she is with GLAAD, which is the Gay and Lesbians Against Defamation. It's like the Jewish defamation league, So they're very powerful. Their budget is in the billions of dollars. I mean, they say it's millions, but it is billions of dollars. Come on. They all, the people, I met people who work there and people who contribute for them, they all get fleet, first class. Um, there's like half of their staff have expense account, just like they're living a great life because, you know, gay men, especially white gay men, are the most oppressed in the whole world. So, so this is what she learned. I mean, she's just regurgitating her feminism classes that she gets, and I mean, she gotta say this. She gotta say this. I mean, if you don't attack men, and you're not a feminist, she won't get invited. So, um, the last time I heard, I heard about other women who is not Laverne Cox. They don't have the the fanfare and everything as Laverne Cox. So I think it was $25,000 for a speaking engagement, and I'm talking about a mere mortal, you know. So I don't know how much LeBron get paid for speaking in all these, not only universities and all these feminist events and stuff, you know. So she's always the token girl that, you know, she go there and like, you know, when I was volunteering at the gay center, they gave us tickets, you know, to be tokens at the women's award something, and because LeBron was actually getting an award that day, so it was like you make sure it's a lot of damn trannies in that event because you know she cannot be the only transsexual woman in this event. You know they're trying to cover their asses as much as they can. So this woman, who I have no idea who she is, um, and this is what I'm telling you, how extreme they can get when it's not a cracker, when it's not European. You know, I made a video a while back about Cynthia G, that she was claiming that she was the most pro-black whatever. Long story short, you know, she's sucking white dick. She's a sex worker, and for white men only. And so I mean it's really hypocritical. It's really nauseating. Like I say, I don't know her, but you know, I bet you if I was to dig a little bit, because it's always is these bitches that they think they're holier than thou, whatever that means. Um, you know, they're the ones who like, oh, you know, just outraged. They're so outraged. So this is the thing with with let's see, I don't know, what should we call you? Twat women, since you defined yourself by your twat. I mean, just so much like, you know, I mean, it's very sad when a woman, you know, first and foremost, you know, she say like, you know, what you got? Well, I got chromosomes, big ass, big tits, and it's like, so no wonder, you know, all the marriages are dissolving within 10 years. No wonder nobody's getting married, you know, too, because, you know, if that's all you're looking for, you don't really looking to see, you know, how about the two energies work together, how, you know, how efficient you are as a couple, you know, all this stuff, you know. I mean, of course, the number one priority is to make babies. Don't get me wrong. You know, I always said that, you know, Cesar Chavez said, you know, our victory, it's in our women's wound. We all have to live by a code. And of course, you know, transsexual women, we break that code, but not because we want to. It's just because that's just the way, you know, the feminine essence manifest. You know, I mean, trust me, we don't understand shit what was happening. And we run away from it. We run away from the truth. And, you know, and the feminine spirit, you know, she beat our asses, basically, if we don't respect her, you know, and just all I know. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you, you know. So it's just a regular account, you know, nothing like major. You know, it's just very woke, you know, beast belly. That's pretty accurate. We're in the belly of the beast. That's correct. So she's part of the Stray Black Pride. I didn't know that. I just noticed this, which is amazing. I totally support them. I totally irritated Jeannie that if any need any help, consultation. Trust me, I can give him a lot of information from the inside. I tried to make Dr. Umar Johnson see, you know that, you know, who cares who they what they do in the bedroom. Oh no, the website is not opening. You see, it's how serious you take yourself. You know, you come and you say like, you calling us man and stuff, which I mean, like, big fucking deal, you know. Um, I must resemble her father, you know, or Laverne Cox, you know, she might resemble her father. A lot of times, like you find out, you know, like you calling transsexual women, you calling them man, you're a man in a dress, you're a man, and then you know you see the brothers, you see their father, very feminine, you know. So it's just like um, everything makes sense, right? Everything makes sense. And it's like one time I had an encounter, it's like, you know, and this guy just keep going back and forth. It's like, you know, come on, I'm tired. And says like, is your father? Like, yeah, he's a faggot, whatever. It's like, you know, what that got to do with me? For real, you know. But since they're such cowards, since they cannot go and yell at some fucking dyke or a faggot, you know, like you, whatever, this and that, because they're the ones signing their paycheck. You know, a lot of black conservatives, you know, have spoken up how they're just, uh, you know, their careers practically ended if they are not pro-abortion or feminism, whatever. These feminazis actually they will stop you from speaking anywhere, especially there's a paycheck going on. So so this is like I don't know. I don't want to move it because sometimes I lose the where I was. I don't want to lose where I was, so I'm just gonna copy and just show you. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. So this guy, he retweeted that tweet because I follow him. You know, he got a lot of insightful shit. You know, like you know, especially you know, if you know anything about me, you know, I'm a big, big admirer of um, the Honorable Malcolm X, El Haj Malik El Shabazz, and so I mean, it's somebody who I could like, you know, I could I could like relate to and make it very easy, very simple without no making excuses. So he dared to call himself son of Malcolm, but like I say, it was like, okay, so I seen that he retweet a lot of gay shit, you know, from you know, like I'm gonna show you, like, yeah, like I'll show you, like James Baldwin, and not only that, there's a lot of like gay gay men in Twitter. So so he retweet them, you know, a lot, you know, and so how's that gonna, you know, you claim, you know, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna show you later on. He claimed that it's like, you know, me praising James Baldwin, how's that promoting, you know, gay shit? So going back to the beauty, uh, yeah, she's not even 2 years on YouTube. She was assistant to Boyce Watkins. She was an assistant to Boyce Watkins. And one of the reasons I made a video because she started talking shit about Dr. Boyce Watkins. Like, he never paid me. He was this. He didn't appreciate me. Whatever. She was crying, and I was like, I said, "Bitch, I'm not watching your shit because if you cannot even make yourself get paid, if you don't even got the skills, you're not even assertive enough, you don't have the agency to collect your damn money, I'm not going to be watching your show." And it's very interesting. I never really found out why, but the show is called Breaking Brown. So this bitch, it says like, I don't know why she's making another category. Continue the tradition of Black intellectual thought. but she ain't black. She's brown. Explain me to me that, because uh, the website on. I want to send her a message. Your website doesn't work. No, I gotta go to Irritated Genius. Whatever. I don't got money, but I will definitely make a donation to Straight Pride. I think it's a great. I mean, you got no idea how, especially for men and black men. It's just like they live not only in terror from the police, but they live in terror from women. You know, I was like, I know men who've been accused of groping and whatever, and it's like being like 2 miles away. And it's just like, actually, right now, as we speak, in Albany, they've been for the past year and a half, they've been pushing for legislation against sexual harassment. And these bitches are throwing a tantrum because, they cannot conceive that, what do you mean statute of limitations? Hell no. I want to go back whenever the fuck I want, and I want to accuse you of whatever the fuck I want to accuse you. So, I mean, it's insane. They have no credibility. All these women, they just make up charges. So that need to be legislated. If a bitch she make up an accusation and she gets caught, and I'm on Twitter all day, I see that at least 3 or 4 times a week. You know, that bitch, she was found out she was lying. The guy never touched her or never raped her. Right now there's a video about these guys. There was like, painting trees with the Pan African flag colors. So like, now these bitches are accusing them. I don't even know what they're accusing them for. But I think they was exonerated, and people are saying you gotta sue them bitches because like how can they like they say that they wanted to join them to pay them to paint the trees. I don't even know. I haven't even really got to see. I have a lot of my plate. I have a lot. Actually got a life. I'm kind of like dating. I'm not really dating. I mean, like it's just a guy that I have a lot of feelings for. We know each other for like 3 years, and so we're having a great time. We're having a great time, but he knows as soon as he finishes whatever commitment that he got right now, he gotta go. You know, so I mean, I don't gotta go, but you gotta like fulfill your commitment to your people. And like I say, our victory is in our women's womb. So if you don't produce at least 10 black babies, there's no way I can have anything with you. You know what I mean? So it's gotta be like I'm very strict like that, and it's very awkward for me. I mean, it was just a casual thing, you know, once in a while, and just this is very awkward for me to talk about him. He's probably listening right now. I don't know. I told him I was gonna be live streaming about um, I don't know if I'm actually trying to scare him. I because he like kind of like horror movies and stuff. So he, I told him, "Isn't you like horror movies and shit? Why don't you, I'm gonna take you to Trans Day of Remembrance." And I couldn't even finish saying that, and that's a very traumatic. Oh, good, nobody's watching. Nobody knows I'm alive. So, what was I saying? Yeah, no, I cannot go. The past 2 years, I cannot go to Trans Day of Remembrance. It's too much. So it's like you should go by yourself. So what it's like. To be around us. It's I don't know. I guess I like him too much, and I want him to be like happy. And I think being with a transsexual woman is just especially with people like what I'm just showing you, that, anytime they just feel like, instead of saying, what, that's a really idiotic statement. If a man don't want to date you, there's something wrong with that man. Oh no. Oh no. These bitches, they don't even know how to fight. So if I was to stoop down to her level, she will be crying bloody murder, right? So, it's just like whatever. I'm gonna continue. I just I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was trying to do. So, well, let me continue. Um, oh my god, my hand just got numb. Shit, I hope I'm not getting a heart attack. I was just reading that Oprah. She got a bump on her neck, and she thought she was gonna die. She thought it was her what's it called, the lymph nodes, and it turned out that she got her saliva duct clogged. And the doctor say, "Oh, just drink a lot of water with lemon." I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy," like. But anyway, focus. So, so where was I? I was telling you that I don't want to like. I just wanted you. I just wish I could do just the whole thread and easily. Wait a minute. Why am I here? Oh, here's the thread. Okay. These races with heart, power, and ignorant. Baldwin was brilliant enough to understand this, but his white bedfellows reflect his confusion about how racism works. You see, even making excuses for that faggot. It's like, you know, I mean, like I told you, I went to the Shamberg and they no longer carry Malcolm X books. They have T-shirts, they have books, and they have coloring books about James Baldwin. And I even tagged them on Facebook because, like, how come you took all? The only book that they left actually is from Manning Marable, which is a hideous book that is saying that Malcolm X was gay. And I mean, there's about 5 books that was written just to, you know, go through this book. That's how bad it is. That's how bad this book is. So you see, 15 hours. He just I learned that he tweeted about James Baldwin, praising him and making excuses for him being a traitor to his own people and trying to find like that. It's just like so he don't really think that he is promoting homosexuality by just focusing on the gay heroes, right? I was actually at the program today and I learned that they're having a biopic and they say it was very, very epic. And it's going to be in the movie theaters about Freddie Mercury. Yes, a gay addict. And it's going to be like, I mean, it's just like, I mean, ridiculous. You're claiming to be oppressed and shit, and you get like, I don't know. So I went into like, interesting how you cowardly, passively, aggressively attack Black transsexual women like Laverne Cox, but you continue to promote homosexuals all the time. And he don't think that retweeting them, and I just show you, how many views Yvette Carnell get. And, that's all from straight people. You're making superstars. You're making superstars on Twitter. I even told one time, a couple of times actually, Sean King, because he, especially before, he used to like, right after the 2016 elections, he was just retweeting all these fucking crackers. I said, like, you want to make me believe that there's no black or brown political analyst, or anything? You have to like, I'm following you. If I wanted to follow damn crackers, I will follow damn crackers. I mean, like, I don't need, you to curate those tweets for me, So, I wrote it down. I got so angry that I made a mistake and I apologized to Laverne Cox. I don't know why this shit. I talked to this shit and it just, you know, it just like it said, like, I guess don't understand that. So I apologize. You're gonna see now. I'm gonna show you the tweet. I rectified. And it's just like I was so angry that I was just talking to this shit. So you have just tweeted that the tweet from the ratchet woman that she's supposed to be like super pro black, whatever, blah blah blah. And she said that we are men in women's clothes. So he just retweeted that, and he knows that I follow him. I've been following him for a while, even from my other account before Sean King got my account shut down. It's a long story. It was a trap, and I fell. so, so, um, so it's like, I mean, like, I'm not endorsing because they think we are just a monolith. They judge us for, Chelsea Manning, what's her name? The other one, Caitlyn Jenner. That's who we get judged for, and just like, it's just, they say like, he go like, what? Me? Which homosexuals? Like pretending that he don't know that James Baldwin is gay. You see how he tried it. Now you want to play stupid, you ain't fooling no one. You are just wrong. Okay, I'm just wrong. And I just told you, there's no books about the Honorable Malcolm X at the Chamber. And the only one they got, and I bought it, actually bought it. And I'm so pissed at the Chamber because, I remember that was a book that, I forgot the name, at the time when I bought it, but I saw it at the Chamber. It's like, why they going to have a book at the Schamberg gift shop that is actually spreading lies about the Honorable Malcolm X? That it's, a lot of people came out and denounced it when that book came out, and full of lies and smear. It called the Nation of Islam a cult. He is just like, even when Minister Farrakhan gave him like a 30-hour interview, he just like, and the guy is dead. He died at 60 years old. I looked him up. I wanted to give him a piece of my mind. And the motherfucker was dead already. I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I just wanted to show you all of them. Okay, so let's see. Here it is. Bowen was smart and wrong as fuck. Is this promoting homosexuals? Well, you call him brilliant. You call him brilliant. And you make an excuse for him, like, sucking Cracker's dick and actually attacking Malcolm X and challenge him to a debate. And he actually told me they was friends, of course, according to Manning Marvel's book. Why is not all everything here? Okay, so now it came out, the whole thing. Why didn't it come out before? I don't know. I don't understand Twitter. I said, you said it yourself. You said brilliant enough. You all love homosexuals, but you despise transsexuals. It's something I don't understand. Why are you all retweeting gay shit for? Again, make mistakes. You have some explaining to do, hypocrites. If you want to be conservative all the way. You cannot pick and choose. And yeah, this is kind of like one of the things that, he's the son of Malcolm. And he's just trying to make excuse. So here come the damn cracker, like, to make trying to make gossip. So what was the next tweet? So if Laverne was smart, so is Laverne. Laverne is a Gemini. I've spoken with her. We spoke one afternoon. We spoke like 2 hours. That's the only time we actually spoke. I wanted to see, you know, what was her vision, and I want to tell her my vision, but I ain't got no credibility, whatever. So nothing happened from our meeting. That was before the Orange is Black or something. What it was called. So you actually forgiven James Baldwin an integrationist who debated Malcolm X. I went to the Chamber gift shop and they don't carry any Malcolm X books, but guess who they got the biggest collection of? And it's true. And it's true. I mean, like, they don't notice that, how they like, you know, much less Khalif Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Khalif Abdul Muhammad. They don't even want him. If they don't want him, I take him. He's another one of my great heroes, and just like, especially ever since the movie came out. James Baldwin got his own movie. What's the other one? Um, oh, Bayard Rustin got like a 3 hour freaking documentary, apologizing that, he was just a victim of society. It was like, yeah, he was a fucking integrationist, actually, sabotage their own people to be riding the buses with damn crackers. Black owned bus companies. And, you don't think, oh, that was different times. Okay. How smart is Laverne if they obviously got white skin when they formerly wore brown? Laverne is just token celebrity symbol, and Baldwin has literature that we can interrogate. I agree with neither. Baldwin earned acknowledgement at bare minimum. What he said, I don't know. You just call him brilliant, and now it's just like backpedaling, and it's like, okay. So you don't think acting is an art? You don't think that? Okay, that's your opinion. So whatever. So and it's just like all these accounts. They don't put any names, no nothing, and they're very brave. And who knows if this is his picture. I want to believe that that's his picture. I want to believe that was her picture, that woman over there. But it's like, very bold, very like whatever, and just um and then just to deny it. So if it was wrong as fuck, why are you calling him brilliant? Why are you promoting? I tell you why, because you're pandering to the damn faggots. If you're not a faggot yourself. Yeah, in denial. So you say if you read the whole comment, I say I was smart. You need some reading comprehension skill. Skills lady. It's like I don't even know what I wanted to say here, but everything come out wrong. The fucking iPod. It's supposed to be getting used to my accent, and it's not getting used to my accent. It keeps getting worse. You know, you say, well, I never made a secret. I need reading comprehension classes, but you need a moral compass because the one that you got, it's broken. And I mean, it's just like, okay, you like him, and you don't think, you're promoting a homosexual quote unquote writer is not promoting gay culture. Okay. So here we go, the back and forth. Yeah, I remember him. I don't know. I say Was and he said Wallace. They don't even sound alike, you know. Oh yeah. Malcolm X fundamentally disagreed with Baldwin, but he respected him. You bringing up his having sex with men is your prerogative. Bitch, you just call me a fucking man, you damn faggot. I just, how coward you are. Take the fucking name off. You don't need to use Malcolm X name on your fucking Twitter account. I mean, it's just like, oh no, I retweet, I tell them that they're great, and I'm not promoting gay culture. Okay, but he respected him. How do you know he respected him? You ever heard about keeping your enemies closer? That's what he was doing. Dick Gregory talk about, like, oh, he was such a great friend and everything, blah blah blah. It's just like, no, he used him because you use people that can get you access to certain places or tell you some of the gossip, whatever, not gossip, but you know what I mean, intelligence. That's what you do. I talked to a couple of gay guys. Are you gonna say they're my friends? Hell no. If they can let me know what's going on in the gay community, whatever, that's about it. So it's very reckless. Like I say, he probably read Manning Marable's A Life of Reinvention, the biography of Malcolm X. That's what his sources are, that to paint that there was bodies. And yeah, Manning Marable trying to paint it like, oh yeah, Malcolm X was having sex with everybody, with not a single shred of evidence. Because if he had it, he would have put it in the book. I don't think he would have withheld the evidence, right? I brought up I brought up with him having sex with white men because I'm discussing racism, not sexual orientation. Oh, that's so great. But you just fucking attack me, and no matter what I do, you're gonna take every opportunity you get to call me a man. So guess what? This man is gonna fuck you up, you damn faggot. You keep it up, and it's like, I'm not afraid of you. Let's meet up in person. If you think I'm a man, I can fuck you up like a man. I'm not, you think you're gonna destroy me with that fucking bullshit, you damn faggot? I mean, it's just like, bitch, please. I mean, like, that's all you got? You love damn faggots. Admit it. Oh, this is like, but he can call me whatever he wants. Like, I'm right there. I'm reading the fucking shit you are, because you're a fucking faggot and you don't even put it yourself. So you retweet what this bitch she posted, So, oh, and you think, oh, it don't mean nothing. It's nothing. So, so this is like another one. The walkers of the walks. It's Luke Skywalker, because this one is walker than everybody. And they actually think, look at how many retweets it got. 13,000 retweets and 33. So why? Because this damn faggot don't even have enough fucking balls to say, hey, this is who I am. This is who I am. So whatever, you gotta go and be passive aggressive about it. So this is the kind of shit. This is the kind of people who, and then later on you find out that they have a white wife or a white husband, and stuff. Like they live a double life. You gotta understand that all these fucking idiots, they are comic book addicts. So they don't live in the real world. They live in their comic books. Because why? Because that's where they can play and imagine, like, like they got actually a freedom. So they're like, oh yeah, this badass shit, whatever. But it's not real. It's a comic book, you damn idiot. So they really like, you don't see him attacking the crackers, but they think like, oh, you're such a hero. You attack a damn tranny, like, like, oh my god, now you are the shit. You're the man. You know, they don't lift a finger to go out for liberation. So what they do, just tweet about it. Just tweet about it. So this conservative superhero, you know, that I can guarantee you, he never posts nothing against the gays because he's a bitch. He knows that they're gonna close his account if he posts shit up against the gays. So he knows that he's gonna be like, and look at this. This happened in a couple hours. Today is, like I say, October 26th. In a couple hours, he got 13,000 retweets. That's how manly these motherfuckers are. There's no man for really. There's no man. I mean, like, how you gonna be like, really? You say that you are for liberation and stuff, but you just want to be a bully to people who we don't own anything, we don't got anything. We are not responsible for your problems. As much as you're trying to make it, the crackers, they don't love you, they don't want you, they hate your guts. And you cannot deal with that shit. You cannot deal with that shit. It's like, just like Yvette Cornell. All the time, actually ran into one of her tweets like last week. And she was still saying that immigrants are the cause of all the problems in the black community. So they're looking for scapegoats. Why? Because they don't, you know, they really, they're nothing. They're nothing. And it's really sad. It breaks my heart that, so many problems the black community got. And you think by attacking them trannies, you're going to be like doing what to your community? You just saw it. He don't have nothing on interracial marriage. Very suspicious that, he just, look at this, what he got. He don't have, actually his memes are, some crackers. Look what they post. Look what they post. Lame shit. Lame shit. But now he's the superhero because he attacked transsexual women. Look at this. This is his idol. This is his idol. But let's see how much they say about him. They whisper, they say it under their breath, a lot of bullshit. You see, there's nothing like, hey, I'm putting together this and that. We're going to be like, you know, I just told you, the deficit of the United States in 10 months alone increased 20%. And now you got more tax cuts that guarantees their reelection. Look at what he's worried about. Look what he's worried about. It's a piece of shit. And I'm nobody to tell you this, but you gotta put out your own trash. You gotta put out your own trash, and you don't do that. So here we go. Look at that. How is this fucking relevant? How is this fucking relevant to black liberation? Look at this. Look at this. He just saved the whole world. You know, and the funny thing, which is nothing to laugh about, when you ask these damn crackers, when was America great? And they tell you straight up when we got slaves. And this idiot, this is what they're posting. This is what they're posting. You think because you got 13,000 retweets in 10 hours. I mean, as far as I know, Twitter is not even paying for retweets. I know YouTube, you can make a lot of videos. You should be making videos on YouTube. Look, nonsense, bullshit. They're about nothing. About nothing. This one too. Just protagonism. Just like, like he don't know that I know that he's gay. So no, oh no, this one is not the one. I'm sorry. He looked like him. I didn't read the handle. My bad. It's not this one. It's another one. Oh, but Blavity, which is owned by the damn gays. That's who they post. Yeah, I've been hearing the fucking first since I came to the United States. The first black person who farted, the first black person who did this, the first black person who ate a cheeseburger, the first, and what actually do to your liberation? This is like they keep the focus on the damn crackers all the time, and shit that is not relevant. You know, look at look at this. You know what Black Panther is about because they seem to ignore what Black Panther is about. Black Panther is about to relieve again the murder of the Honorable Malcolm X. That's what Black Panther is about. I made a little review about the movie. I didn't want to say it like this, but since nobody tell you the truth, so you made the biggest blockbuster in history. And he just got wet. I didn't even read this. He just got wet about this. This moist motherfucker. I mean, it's like, and everybody like he got rewarded with 13,000 plus retweets, 34,000 likes. I'm sorry, but don't say nobody told you. Don't say nobody told you. Once you get the shackles again, one day enslave you, they're already selling your people in Africa. The fucking Arabs, they're selling black people. They're selling Africans. They're selling from the African diaspora if you want, if you must. I don't know how to tell you because you cannot agree on how should we call you. You don't want to be called black, like like this dyke said. She's brown, she's not black. So you continue to be making more identities so you can be collecting more and more money. That's what it's all about. So the truth is that I can see that you are not black. That's what I can see. Somebody who actually invests all this to make people laugh because you do this for laughs. So what I can deduct from this is that you are not black. You are OJ. Basically, that's what you're saying. So I'm really hoping that these help your people. You just spare your people from horrendous disasters and dangers that was coming to your people. Slavery part 2. You just save the world, not just your own people. Why? By just making fun of us. Not even us, your sisters, because you don't even pick a fucking white transsexual. You picked actually a black transsexual. That's what they say. Takashi 69, they say, He can say whatever and do whatever he wants because we only kill black people. We don't kill outsiders, and that's what everybody's saying on YouTube. He gotta be faking death threats. He gotta be faking that, like, and he's laughing at you, that fucking idiot. Making millions of dollars, and you haven't taken him down. How much of a man are you? I mean, for real. Takashi 69, who actually used the N word and shit like that, and that idiot is Mexican. So, I mean, you know, this is a joke. A lot of the stuff that you guys do is a fucking joke. You could have actually shared a message, important message about organizing. Have you? I don't see nobody organizing for November 6th midterm elections. They are the crackers already are. They got many ways how they're going to be throwing out, millions of votes to win. They got a lot of schemes. They are real hustlers. And you claim to be a hustler, whatever, and you get hustled every day, all the time by the damn crackers. And the other thing is that you all hate Africa. You put it on your Twitter, you put it like whatever, you retweet some shit, and then you start a fight with African people all the time. Which actually, that's your only hope. That's your only hope. I mean, look at us Mexicans. We've been called every name in the damn book. But we don't give a fuck because we got a country. You got a country too, but you don't like it. You don't want it. So I feel sorry for your asses because, something really bad is going to happen to you. This is all about black people. You need your fucking wake up call. This is all about you. Because at the end of the day, shit, we are in Latin America, and any attack or something is going to unite us. That's why the United States don't strike. They haven't dropped any more bombs in Latin America like in 30, 40 years, because they know that will only unite us against the United States. So you can attack everything we want. Laverne, she got millions of dollars. You idiot. How much money you got? How much money you got? Thug. I hate doing this to you. I hate doing this to you, but I mean, I don't know how else to talk to you about it. I made a video. I don't want to put it out there because I got very surprised that the media did not cover what happened on August 1st at that dinner with 100 ministers at the White House. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and nothing. But it got leaked to my country, and to other countries, because that's how the Mexican political analysts, they research. It's not just they just watch like Fox News or something. No, 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 no. A lot of Mexican and anybody outside the United States, they got a really extensive, like what's it called? They go like Chinese media. You got to go to Chinese media, European media, South American media, because somebody's going to tell the truth. And also, that's how you corroborate, if it's true, because they have like different sources. These newspapers said that it was such and such who said it, and then you learn that such and such say the same thing. So now that's how it's like history. That's how you know it actually happened, when you got um, different accounts of you know what I mean, of the same thing. So your president, because you know I don't see nothing against the crackers in your account, Mister Sean the Terrible. You're a terrible. I don't even know what to call you. A terrible clown. You know, Sean the Terrible. You are a terrible clown, and you put data, raw data. Yeah, we can see. You can see. This is what you like. I mean, who will actually put that shit on for real? So anyway, going back to, so your president said, if we lose the midterm elections, the GOP, my base, they're going to be throwing themselves to the streets. And he said, and I won't be able to control them. So, I mean, if you watch that video that I made, I think it's called something like, Malcolm X was right, you're being lied to. Uh, I really don't understand, why I try to look, CNN, I try to look, all these, and all we see is about that whore, Stormy Daniels. So that's the big smoke screen. They got a lot of smoke screens, and this is what you're doing. You are a smoke screen. We are a few days before the midterm elections, and this is what you tweet. This is what you tweet. Oh, here's another clown. I didn't even see this. Oh, here's another superhero. Okay, so we'll see. This one is a real activist. This is who he is. Okay, there you are. Like we'll see how committed he is to liberation. Hmm. Show business, show business, show business. Oh, bullshit, bullshit. The same thing. This is like a little kid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is like somebody who got like what some people will call retarded, which is not politically correct. You see, you Jim Crow is about to make a comeback, and what you doing? Nothing. I mean, they look like they're in the dirties, but this is the kind of shit that you see 17, 15-year-old kids do, which, I mean, I don't follow them, but every now and then, one of their stupid videos. This is the hope of the African diaspora. This is the hope of the African diaspora, and this is what they're posting. So you mean to tell me that I should be feeling threatened from you posting these, from exposing, Laverne Cox, and you just saved the world? Is that what you're saying? You just saved the world? You just like, I don't understand, what is the goal of this if not, entertainment? You see, like I say, Jim Crow is about to make a comeback. Mark my words. This motherfucker isn't going nowhere. His approval rates are in the 60s, and they're telling you otherwise. Um, and now he's giving away 10% tax cut right before the midterm elections, which it should be illegal. But of course it's not, because they're white. They make their own laws. And you bunch of idiots, you're just wasting your time attacking a minority who is absolutely irrelevant in a capitalist country. In capitalism, we're all irrelevant, But if anything, Laverne Cox got millions of dollars. She lived in downtown Manhattan. That's how rich she is. And what you got, idiot? Hillybilly. Where you live at? With your mom? You probably live at your mom's basement or some shit. And you actually making fun of us. Guess what? I own my apartment. I've been in my apartment for 26 years. I have a co-op. I bought it myself in 1992. So I want you to match that before you come, and nobody gave me nothing. It was kind of easy. I was waiting tables. I was working my ass off and saving every penny. I was not buying no stupid chains or sneakers, $100 sneakers, you bunch of idiots. I wasn't buying nothing. I had just arrived in this country in 1989. And I didn't know. I was homeless for like 8 months. That shit scared me to death. And I say, you gotta save every dime. And when the opportunity came, I bought this huge 1 bedroom apartment. So before you trying to make us look bad, you might trying to make fun about, you know, some of us, because some of the great majority of black transsexual women, you know, they're at the bottom of the bottom. Somehow it's like their blackness don't count. It don't matter how richly melanated they are. It don't matter, like, you just think you can just wash your hands off them. Well, I don't know if there's karma. I don't know if there's such thing called karma or not. But if there is, it probably already got you. Your pathetic lives. Keep buying sneakers. Keep giving the money, like, Nike, like, oh, we're getting Colin Kaepernick to make sure you buy the damn sneakers. And you fell for it. You fell for it. And, and we are laughing at you. What are you going to do about that? Oh, that's right. You're just going to make jokes about trannies, right? Because you are so smart. You're so smart. I think it's true what Dr. Boyce Watkins said and Dr. Claude Anderson. Not to mention what the most honorable Marcus Garvey used to say about you. And you really need to be. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of it. I'm on Black Twitter. You know, most of the week, and I see a lot of people in Black Twitter say, "Shit, I don't think we got any hope. We just keep actually getting worse and worse and worse." You got the privilege, I mean, I'm Mexican. We never had no Marcus Garvey. We never had no Malcolm X or Dr. Khalif Abdul Mohammed. No, we didn't. But you did, and you did not take that advantage. Dr. John Henry Clark actually made you a blueprint to your liberation, where you cannot stop buying garbage. You know, I mean, look at Chinatowns. Chinatown's still there. It's getting smaller and smaller, but still there. Why? Because it's like the buildings, they bought the buildings, like 20 people buy a building. You got to get everybody's signature. Oh, that's right. You don't trust each other. So I'm just saying this to let you know you got serious problems and you need to focus. And it take a pale Mexican bitch to come and tell you the truth. because you didn't listen from Dr. Umar Johnson. Oh, you actually attack him. So if you attack Dr. Umar Johnson, we don't have any hope. Like they say, what hope have I? I mean, like, if you and you think like nobody's watching, there's a lot of us watching you. It's a it's a train wreck. That's all we can do. Just watch it. As long as you don't take care of your ADHD, I mean, this is supposed to be, a made up diagnosis. I don't think it's a made up diagnosis. I think there's something about ADHD because you guys cannot actually, you know, say, fuck it. We're going to be like, we're going to stop spending, especially we're not going to buy from nobody black, from nobody white. And we're going to build our own and start buying land, collective land. You know, everybody, you got $20,000. We put $20,000 and we buy a building. I'm talking about 5, 10 people or 20 people. You get signature and it's like that's it. You got to take time to decolonize the mind. That's what it is. And you don't want to do the work. You don't want to do the work. So I don't know. What is this shit? I haven't even read it. I appreciate you correcting the record, folks. Can't stand with trans folk by amplifying the ballot measure being voted in Massachusetts November 6th. Encourage base staters to vote yes on 3 to maintain trans rights in Massachusetts. Oh, you were sore because actually LeBron, she's actually doing something and you ain't, and making you look like idiots that you are. Stand up and speak out. Yes. I don't know. Some I like I said, I retired a year ago. I don't even know what these bitches are doing. So that's what it is. That's what it is. You can organize yourselves too. You don't have to be, all salty about it. You can just do your, oh no, but it's a lot easier just to complain and accuse, point the finger out, right? So I think I'm done. I wanted to expose this cesspool of, just parasites. Oh, she finally actually, oh, she only got one tweet, one retweet. What the hell? Why do they keep ill? Oh my god, it was nasty. He actually feeling sorry for that cracker? Huh. Yeah. Well, my other account, I abandoned my account like a month ago. And all I gotta do is just erase the tweet because Sean King tell me to erase the tweet. Look, and he don't only look, this is what they're about. They keep all the memes that they put, all the gifs that they put. It's white people. Oh, this is a black gif, whatever they're called, GIF. I don't even know what they're called. These look really, really childish. And it's kind of like they're buying a lotto ticket, but instead of money, they think they actually get the jackpot when they get like 10,000 retweets. Otherwise, why would anybody go, you know I don't know. He say caption this, caption this. I don't even know what this is. I'm bored as fuck already. It's from my country. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm looking for my other account because this bitch she blocked me. Bitch, like I don't have other accounts. Like who wanna follow you for real? And she's a superhero because she calls us a man. And he's not the only one. Another one of my favorites. And constantly, it's either Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, or Yvette Carnell, or that's just yeah. Well, mental illness. What's your name? Uh, Dre Federico. I think that's your name. You want to be Italian? Drego the Great. Oh, nice. You got a white name. So, after seeing your account, I don't think you have a case. That looked like the account of 14-year-old girl. Very disturbing. You be the judge of this. I'm just putting this shit over here, and you're the one who that's the same one. So that's all I'm saying. You know, if you are pro-black and you actually put race first, you put race first. Be congruent. Be, you know, race first. That was Malcolm X. You're not gonna be like wasted your time. You know, you gotta focus. I don't know what you're talking about. I sit down. The feminazi. The feminazi. You think I'm gonna respect you actually when you're a feminist and you say you're pro-black? They got the nerve to say they are pro-black. Look at this. This is why she still got a career. Say, oh, she's the greatest actress of all time. Is that so? What was this? Oh, yes. So I just really hope that she's as pro-black as she says she is. Really. I don't care. I don't care whatever you call me, but when I see you, that you're following 100 gay people and you're retweeting their shit. So that's when I question that. Because if you are pro-black, you are not going to be normalizing gay shit like Yvette Carnell, like I don't need. I block everybody who's gay. Tell you the truth. I really don't even remember. Still on my Facebook, I still have like, I found out. I woke up and I found out in my Facebook, I have more than 1,000 faggots in my Facebook. I didn't even know it. It's like, I don't want that in my life. I don't need that, you know, because I stay focused. I stay focused. We got our new president starting December 1st. And that's it. It's our last chance we have as a country to actually get our shit together. You know, we had a lot of misinformation because there was no internet, there was no nothing. And, It's not an excuse, but yeah, he kept denying that he used the word brilliant. Say brilliant is the new fabulous. That way he used it. I don't know. I mean, I when I see James Baldwin, I'm like, it was okay. I'm not gonna be like, but for the Chamber to have like more than 20 books and T-shirts and postcards and dolls and anything. So it's sad. It's just beyond sad. A community who is the number one target in the world, throughout the world, like Dr. John Henry Clark say, anti-blackness is the world's doctrine. And you waste your time, you know, with adulation for a damn faggot, and you think you're smart, that you just like, oh shit, I'm just gonna retweet this bitch. I want to say it. I want to say that transsexual women are men. But I'm such a coward. I'm such a pussy. Let me just retweet this bitch. She already said it. So that enrages me. Enrages me. If you at least had, I don't know, it's just one fucking testicle and you go out and say it, I will actually can kind of respect you. But you're gonna be like Cynthia G, that every time somebody put in it, she will put like ha 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 ha, or she will put LOL. Okay, bitch. So it's like you saying that, and that really pisses me off when somebody keep attacking us. They're like, "You're a man, you're a man, you're a man," or whatever. It's like, okay, so like whatever. I know that their life is so damn pathetic that they actually looking for anything to spice her up. So yeah, I straighten up the I straighten up the what's it called, the tweet. So that was the original tweet. Oh, this fucking bitch, her liver gave up. So yeah, that was my transit of remembrance. So and it's just like they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. You become a woman. How the fuck you become a woman? You align your body with your gender. That's all. But they make it seem like, like, oh, nobody can become a woman. If you was not born a woman, if you don't have your heart of a woman, the spirit of a woman, which is what matter, you got all these fucking butch dykes that hate being a woman, but when it's convenient, oh, I'm a real woman. Bitch, you hate yourself. You're a fucking trans man that, don't want to align your body, don't want to move on. You don't want to accept fucking reality. The chaos is happening right now in the whole world because all these people who say that they're a woman and they're not, all these people who say they're a man and they're not, they're miserable. They're fucking miserable. Like you go in the Bronx, you see like a bunch of dykes, always with a face like, like shit. you know, People, they say it's a stereotype, when they say, oh, that bitch need to be fucked. Well, I don't know what it is, but these bitches go around with walking around with a mustache, with sagging pants, showing their ass. They think they're a guy. So I want to tell you, you're probably a guy. Get a shot of fucking testosterone and stop creating so much chaos. Because your misery is your misery. You don't need to share your damn misery. So that was it. So I want to show you. Oh yeah, I took some pictures. Yeah, I took a screenshot. I don't know if she was gonna like, block me from my other account. I don't know if she was gonna find out I have another account and just block me too. She says she's anti-feminist. Well, I didn't see nothing that made me feel that in her account. Okay. Well, yeah, me too. We got that in common. I block rainbow accounts, whatever that means. Yes, you pretend to be a woman. So if you was a woman, you think you would be this vulgar? I mean, that is my question. I mean, I'm not talking about ladylike because I don't believe in that shit. But you was actually a woman, you think you will be posting these ridiculous comments like, what do you think we're gonna be like? Oh my god, I'm gonna go and cry. Oh my god. Because that bitch, she told me I'm a man. I'm a man pretending to be a woman. Okay. I mean, maybe that's how they think they're gonna get their liberation. Oh, if we deny their womanhood, if we question their womanhood, maybe the crackers are gonna like us. You're gonna love me. They don't love you. They don't want you. No matter how much you can blame us, you can blame the faggots. It's like when you're married and your husband cheated. They keep posting these pictures like you can see the Honorable Malcolm X is cracking up. Like Dr. King already say like, oh, we have made so much progress. Look, the crackers like us better now. And the camera was there, and he said like, "Oh, I guess I'd rather laugh because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna start crying." So I came back for dinner and to pick up the pantry tonight. So yeah, this is what they did. That was the lavish memorial. So this is what she looked like, considering that's her picture, because she's such a woman that she don't even say her name, uh, in her location. You see, like they're hiding, and that's not like a grown ass woman. You need to grow up. You really, oh, this is how you make it big. Here she come for you. Here she come for you. I know you can make pictures big like this. So, so this is what consciousness look like. So I just really hope that this really translate into Black liberation, Black power, Black ownership. I really hope that from the bottom of my heart, people who know me from, if you get to know me from the years, um, I really believe that the whole world's liberation depends on Black liberation, unfortunately. So when you say like, who are you? You're in Black. Well, everybody who's not white, you know, you got all the secrets. You the one who actually civilized the whole planet, and so we're counting on you. But after what I show you, is like I don't think there's any hope for the world. As long as Black people continue being just petty and ridiculous, and all the words that they use against each other. What they call it, jibing and whatever. I don't even know. So it's sad. It's sad. You think you're gonna destroy us. I mean, you're the only destroying your own people, black transsexual women. That's who you are going to be destroying, because white transsexual women, you don't even attack them. You just make once in a while, a joke about Caitlyn Jenner. Ha ha ha, just like, and you think you're revolutionary, you're a freedom fighter, you are, a joke. I gotta tell you this. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. You wasting your time, your precious time, a few days before the one of the most crucial midterm elections. And this is what you do. And I look on your timeline and you got nothing substantial. Not even, which I mean, it's just like still social media. It's not real life. But that's the problem. That all these people, they just think life is a comic book. They're imaginary Wakanda. And, I mean, I hated that movie, the Black Panther. You killed the guy who actually had the insight. He was trained by the damn crackers. He knew them better than none of you. And you decided to kill him. And yes, a damn Mexican, she was the one who Lupita Nyong'o. I was like, why she got to be like, oh no, we don't want him. We don't want Killmonger. We don't want Killmonger. He's too radical. He's too like, we want to just pretend that we're actually doing the work. We want to just pretend like, it's like a doctor, the doctors, they don't want to see you do well because they'll be out of business. So they're secretly praying for you to get sick so they can buy another house in Florida or whatever. So, I mean, you guys are pathetic. It was good that I made this video because I realized, what a bunch of losers you are. Bitter losers. And I feel sorry for you. That's all I got to say. I just feel really sorry for you. I mean, yeah, it's October 26th. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's like a week and a half from, yeah, a few days from November 6 elections. And it's going to be very interesting either way. If they lose, they already destroyed the country before. And it was you guys who actually rebuilt it. They call it the reconstruction, but they don't say who reconstructed the United States. So I guess you're ready to reconstruct the United States again. That's why you're just full of shit and just wasting your time saying the gay men are brilliant. So, wow. Whoa. Well, this is opening my eyes, actually. This is opening my eyes. I'm like, I'm losing hope about you guys. I didn't think it was going to be the day that I'm losing hope. The black people ever going to get your shit together. Yeah, and I know it's not your fault. You got a lot of internal damage, lingering pain, lingering trauma, compounded trauma from intergenerational trauma, intergenerational poverty, and a lot of stuff. But, this is not the time to play victim. This shit is getting real now, real fast. They're escalating real fast because they know there's people in social media. We're finding out what they're doing. So I want to say good night, but I want to say goodbye.